Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, Sunday night, sharing with you a promise it can't keep. Spokesman and advocate of basic human rights gives me the concern about all things relative to you, the people, to us as human beings. You know, the people fund the prosperity gospel, even though it does nothing for them. Prosperity, the preacher receives abundance, and the people are hoping that God can receive for them, allow them to receive such abundance. I remember seeing something about the Catholic Church, about relics before Martin Luther broke loose. They were talking about selling relics to get people out of heaven. And now the same thing is preachers talking about prosperity, and the people are paying to get their individual. Well, the people also support, just as they do the prosperity preachers, they support the systems of government. The prosperity preachers promises one thing, the system of government promises one thing, and when we see all of the carnage, that is an indication of failure. So I thought I might have a chance as a candidate, an independent for U.S. president, because the nation was filled with so-called Christians. Now, the Bible talks about what I campaigned about. So in my mind, how can I lose if the people's plea is true? I speak what Jesus says. Well, later, another man, a candidate for U.S. president, it was all different and in every way than that which the Bible spoke of. And the people, the media, the Christians, and the mega church, they came out in droves. They couldn't get enough. Now, it was supported by lies. It was supported by cheats and haters and racists and terror and murder. Yet, it had this support. So what does that say about God and the church? Just a thought. Now, our U.S. Constitution may still be a model for all to see. But if we look intensely, we find that change is needed. It is time to move up. Somewhere, as I got a little booklet that references, what is it? I think it's this little book here. It's called The Constitution of our country. Rexford and Carson, many of you probably have the same little booklet. I saw across something here about the Magna Carta. And one thing that got my attention it was talking about rights. And number one right that they were emphasizing, as it was printed here in this book, was impartial justice. That's what got my attention. Impartial justice. Justice to be used, justice to be had by all. Justice shall not be sold, delayed, or denied to anyone. Wow. Ooh-wee. You see, so when you hear that, right? Now you know justice has been denied and all kinds of stuff going on around, right? So when people talk to you about justice and God and heaven and stuff like that, you have to pay the same kind of attention to it that you pay to what you see around here in your everyday life. You know this is a con game. You can't even see that. That's probably a con game too. And if it is or isn't, you'll find out about it later. Well, for 40 years, I spoke and I speak of heaven on earth. And I speak of it during our time. I call that pure justice. Yet, it's totally ignored by evangelicals who shared their support with the negativism of the Republican campaign. Also, attachment with mega preachers and mega churches and prosperity gospel in an attempt to what? To buy individual benefits from God against the truth which says that people create their own heaven or hell. So be it, as is the heart. Basic human rights, my friend, is the prayer of every human. Basic human rights. Men will fight and die against one another. They will march out on a battlefield, kill and be killed as if it is a sport in a game of patriotism. However, amongst the possibly 8 billion humans on this planet today, there is not to be found 10 that will willingly sacrifice their lives, that every human on this planet is extended a life of peace, prosperity, freedom, and joy, and happiness, and dreams lived, including but not limited to unlimited food and clothing and shelter, and education and health care, transportation, and access to anything created at the hands of man as need, as want, and desire dictates. This is heavenly, baby. This is sweet stuff. Understanding that heavenliness is possible because the true and only God provides all that humans need to produce the goods and services, including all of the resources seen and unseen, whether in the earth or on the earth and above the earth. This part God has already provided. The other part humans must provide. The fairest and just way to apply ourselves in a dilemma like this is for everyone that benefits from any part of it play a part in the manifestation of all that is created at the hands of man, thus becoming part owners of this heaven on earth. Now, it is said that a heaven was provided for, given to angels, but they failed to maintain it. Corruption rose and destroyed everything. Again, I think God is looking to house those in heaven that live and die for heaven. Again, amongst the possible 8 billion humans on this planet in 2023, not 10 can be found willing to sacrifice their life for the life of the world, for the life of the human race. That's the kind of love you can't fake. Thank you.